The universe has chosen you. A $999 million shift is being released. The universe has already whispered your name into eternity, and tonight you awaken to that calling. You have not stumbled here by accident. This moment was written before time began. The $999 million shift is not money alone. It is the symbol of infinite supply breaking into your life, the confirmation that you are chosen. The old you is dissolving, the struggling you is fading, and the wealthy, abundant you is rising into full expression. The treasure has always been yours, waiting in the unseen, and now it is pressing into the scene. This is not chance, it is destiny unfolding, the release of a greater measure of power, prosperity, and purpose that has long been yours. You stand at the threshold of a new reality. The universe has chosen you, and nothing can stop what has already been appointed. Would you like me to? Imagination is the true wealth portal. Imagination is the birthplace of every fortune, the true treasure chest that holds the riches of your life, and the only portal through which the $999 million shift can ever reach you. The world teaches that wealth is earned by toil, by grinding, by laboring under the sweat of your brow. But the eternal truth is that nothing comes to you until you have first received it within. Every dollar, every opportunity, every door that has ever opened for you was born first in the unseen kingdom of your inner vision. The universe responds not to your effort, but to your assumption, not to your begging, but to your bold inner claim of what is already yours. When you dare to imagine lavishly, when you dare to see yourself beyond the boundaries of limitation, you activate the only true law of wealth, that life mirrors imagination. This is why so many chase money and never find it, for they treat the shadow as substance and ignore the cause. The external world is a mirror, and no mirror ever creates. It only reflects what stands before it. If poverty, lack, and struggle surround you, it is not the punishment of fate. It is the reflection of the image you have been projecting unconsciously. But the moment you shift your imagination, the moment you dare to hold wealth as real within your inner world, the entire universe bends to make that image flesh. Think of this. All inventions, all empires, all streams of wealth were once only daydreams. The skyscraper was once a fantasy in the mind of an architect, the billion-dollar business once a fleeting vision in the heart of its founder, the global movement once a whisper in someone's soul. The imagination was the seedbed, and because they persisted in holding it, the invisible became visible. So too with you, this $999 million shift that the universe has chosen you for is already alive in imagination, and you need only align with it to call it into form. Money is not the master, it is the servant, and imagination is the throne. Wealth has no power of its own. It waits to be animated by the pictures you hold of yourself. If you see yourself as chosen, wealthy, worthy, abundant, then life has no choice but to project that reality around you. If you see yourself as struggling, unlucky, overlooked, then your world will obey and mirror it back. The question is not, can I become wealthy, but what image am I willing to live in until it hardens into fact? The mind is the workshop of the universe, and imagination is its sacred tool. Yet so many waste it on fear, on worry, on repeating pictures of failure. They imagine rejection before they knock, poverty before they earn, loss before they receive, and because imagination is law, those images must come forth. You have already proven the law, for your current life is nothing more than the harvest of yesterday's imaginal seeds. But now a greater truth is dawning. You are not a victim of imagination. You are its master. The universe has chosen you for this wealth shift because you are awakening to your rightful power, the power to select and persist in a new inner image. Imagine now the life where abundance flows as naturally as breath, where the $999 million is not an outrageous dream, but a simple fact of your identity. See it, feel it, live it in your inner world until it becomes more real than the evidence of your senses. This is not self-deception. It is self-creation. The external world lags behind imagination, but it cannot resist it. What you accept within must show itself without, for there is no other source of reality. Do not make imagination a casual thing. Make it sacred. Guard the images you dwell on, for they are the architects of your future. Each time you picture yourself struggling, you plant weeds. Each time you see yourself chosen and overflowing with wealth, you plant seeds of gold. Do not measure by appearances, for appearances are old echoes, shadows of past imaginations now fading. Measure by what you are daring to hold in the silence of your heart. When you sit quietly and see yourself walking through doors of abundance, signing contracts of prosperity, receiving blessings you cannot contain, you are calling forth the shift. The $999 million is already finished in the invisible realm. It is already accounted for, already released, waiting for your alignment. It is like a song already written, waiting for you to tune your ear to its frequency. And tuning comes by imagination, by boldly assuming it is yours now, by living from the end as though it has already happened. When you close your eyes and declare, I am chosen, the universe has released the wealth. I live in abundance now. You are not merely hoping, you are activating. The mind does not argue with imagination, it accepts it as reality. Your feelings confirm it, and then the outer world begins to rearrange itself to comply. People will appear to help you. Ideas will surface that lead to wealth. Unexpected channels will open, not because the world has changed, but because you change the cause that governs it. Imagine lavishly, imagine boldly, imagine persistently, for imagination is not a pastime, it is prophecy. It is not fantasy, it is fact in its earliest form. You are not waiting for $999 million. It is waiting for you to dare to hold it within, to carry yourself as one already entrusted with such wealth. This is why you were chosen, not because the universe favors you above others, but because you finally accept that you are favored. To be chosen is to choose, to be selected is to select yourself. The universe is impartial, but it bends to the one who insists within. And now you are insisting that wealth is yours. You are stepping into the secret chamber of imagination and painting the portrait of the wealthy you. You are becoming intimate with this vision until it breathes, until it walks with you, until it is no longer imagination but identity. That identity is the true portal, the bridge through which the flood of wealth must pour. Do not ask how, do not worry about when. The how is the business of the universe, and the when is already appointed. Your only task is to remain faithful to the image, to guard it as the treasure that it is. So I tell you, live in the imagination of wealth now. Do not wait for the outer world to grant you permission. Stand in the palace of your mind before the palace is visible. Count the millions within before they are numbered in your account. See yourself chosen and wealthy until it becomes impossible to doubt. This is the true wealth portal, and it has already opened to you. The universe has chosen you, not for struggle, not for survival, but for abundance beyond measure. The $999 million shift is the evidence of a greater truth, that you are the creator of your world, the master of imagination, and the steward of infinite supply. Imagination is your crown, and wealth is your reflection. Wear it boldly, for it belongs to you now. The chosen are not random to be chosen, is not luck, and it is never an accident. The universe does not pull names from a hat, nor does it scatter blessings without order. The chosen are those who have dared to step into a new state of being, who have persisted in a vision when the outer world mocked them, who have clothed themselves inwardly in wealth long before the first coin arrived. The truth is simple yet profound. You are chosen because you have chosen yourself. The state you accept, the image you persist in, the inner identity you refuse to abandon. These are the secret criteria of selection. The $999 million shift is not falling on you as chance. It is being revealed because your consciousness has aligned with it. Others will call it favor, others will call it miracle, others will call it luck, but you will know that it is law. You persisted in wealth when evidence shouted poverty. You affirmed abundance when lack seemed louder. You carried the posture of the chosen one, and by that very inner stance you became the chosen. The world loves to believe in randomness, to think life is nothing but chance and chaos. But if you examine your own life, you will see it has never been random. Every success you ever experienced came after you held it within, even if unconsciously. Every setback mirrored a hidden belief you carried. When you dwell in anger, anger returns. When you live in fear, fear multiplies. When you dare to imagine wealth, wealth must appear. The chosen are simply those who have mastered this truth. They no longer drift with appearances. They select the state they wish to inhabit, and they persist until the world concedes. The universe does not play favorites. It responds to faith. Faith is simply loyalty to an unseen reality. If you are loyal to wealth in the unseen, you are inevitably chosen to display wealth in the seen. That is why you are here. The $999 million shift is not about money. It is about identity. It is about you stepping into the truth that you were never ordinary, never overlooked, never forgotten. You were always chosen, but now you have awakened to it. Being chosen feels different. It is not arrogance, but certainty. It is not pride, but quiet power. When you are chosen, you stop competing because you know your portion is already secured. You stop comparing because you know the universe is infinitely abundant, and your inheritance cannot be touched by another. To walk as the chosen is to rest in assurance, to know that what is yours cannot pass you, to know that the $999 million shift is already sealed with your name. And yet, here lies the mystery. Anyone can be chosen, but not everyone chooses to step into it. Many cling to smallness, to fear, to limitation, and though they are loved, they do not awaken. You have awakened. That is why you feel the pull of this moment. That is why the words you hear ignite something deep inside you. Because the chosen are never random. They are the ones who have recognized themselves in the mirror of imagination. Think of the countless stories of transformation in this world. The man who rose from poverty to wealth, the woman who built empires from nothing, the child who dreamed and saw it come to life. Were they lucky? No, they were chosen. And how did they become chosen? By refusing to accept the state that the world tried to force on them. They looked at poverty and said, "That is not who I am." They faced rejection and said, "That is not my truth." They endured delay and said, "My destiny cannot be denied." Inwardly, they persisted in the picture of wealth, of success, of triumph, and eventually the outer world caught up. This is the same law that is working for you. You are chosen because you dared to reject the lie of limitation. You are chosen because you refused to shrink. You are chosen because you insisted within that you were more. The $999 million is not random. It is the reflection of the consciousness you have been nurturing. For years you may have wondered why things felt delayed, why others seemed to prosper while you struggled. But every delay was preparation. Every setback was pressing you deeper into the truth. Every disappointment was chiseling away the false identity until only the chosen self remained. Now the time has ripened. The shift is released not because you suddenly got lucky, but because you grew into alignment with it. You matured into the identity that can hold it, steward it, live it. That is what being chosen really means. You became the vessel for the wealth, the consciousness capable of carrying abundance without breaking under it. Some will say, "But why me?" And the answer is, because you answered. The universe calls to all, but few listen. The inner voice has whispered to you for years, "You are more, you are greater, you are not meant for lack." And though you doubted at times, you kept listening. Though you fell, you rose again. Though you questioned, you kept walking. And now the persistence of your inner hearing has led you here, to the moment where the outer confirmation must arrive. That is the power of the chosen. They are not perfect, but they are persistent. They do not always know how, but they never release the inner vision. Understand this. Being chosen is not about superiority. It is about responsibility. When wealth pours into your life, it does not come only to make you comfortable, but to expand the kingdom of abundance through you. You become a demonstration of what is possible, a living testimony that imagination creates reality, that wealth is not withheld but available to all who dare to assume it. You show others that the chosen are not rare exceptions but living proof of a universal law. That is why you must embrace the identity fully, without apology. Stop explaining yourself to those who do not see. Stop lowering your vision to fit the comfort of the crowd. Walk as the chosen one, for the wealth is already aligning to that walk. The $9 199 million shift is released because you finally see yourself correctly. You no longer look at your past as evidence against you. You see it as proof that nothing can stop what is ordained. You no longer see your present as limitation. You see it as the seedbed of glory. You no longer see yourself as small. You see yourself as the vessel of infinite wealth. This shift is not random because you are not random. Every breath, every thought, every imagination has been leading to this. The universe has woven your journey with precision, shaping you into one who can carry abundance with grace. And now, as the chosen one, you step into the inheritance that has always been waiting. So stand tall. Speak boldly, live richly within, even before the evidence arrives. Know that you are chosen not by chance but by alignment, not by favoritism but by law, not by accident but by inner decision. The world may look at you and call it luck, but you will know the truth. The chosen are never random. You aligned, you persisted, you believed, and now the $999 million shift must reveal itself in your life. You are the chosen one, and nothing, no delay, no opposition, no shadow, can alter that eternal decree. The inner conversation determines the outer inheritance, every inheritance of life, whether wealth or lack, peace or turmoil, success or failure, flows from the conversation you hold with yourself in the silent chambers of the mind. You may never speak it aloud, but the words you rehearse inwardly create the script of your world. This is the great secret. Life does not listen to your public prayers nearly as much as it listens to your private whispers. The universe does not respond to what you say in ritual. It responds to what you continually affirm when no one is listening. If your inner talk is filled with I cannot, I never, I am not enough, I will never get ahead, then the mirror of reality must echo those words back to you with circumstances, delays, and disappointments. But if your inner talk is I am chosen, I am wealthy, I am appointed for abundance, I am already living the $999 million shift, then the world bends to those words and confirms them with opportunities, channels, and unexpected blessings. Words are not mere sounds, they are seeds, and the harvest is inevitable. Your outer inheritance is nothing more than the blossoming of your inner speech. Most people do not guard this sacred chamber. They let old memories dictate their self-talk. They allow the voices of parents, teachers, critics, and failures to repeat endlessly in their minds. They rehearse lack with such loyalty that life can only grant them more lack. They relive insults, they repeat fears, they carry conversations of poverty as if they were sacred scripture. And because they do, their inheritance becomes the fruit of those rehearsals. The inner conversation is the hidden law, and it never fails. If you wish to know what you truly believe, do not look at your outer words, look at your inner ones. What are you telling yourself as you fall asleep at night? What do you whisper when bills arrive? What do you declare inwardly when you look at yourself in the mirror? Those are the prophecies that shape your destiny. The chosen are never careless with inner talk. They may fall into doubt for a moment, but they quickly return to the conversation of wealth, the conversation of power, the conversation of being favored. They know that the outer inheritance depends entirely on the consistency of inner speech. This is the mystery of the $999 million shift. It is not being sent to you from far away. It is being summoned by your inner dialogue. If you speak richly within, wealth must come. If you speak as one already chosen, opportunities must align. If you speak as though you already hold the inheritance will appear. The universe does not argue with your words, it obeys them. It does not question your worthiness, it only mirrors your assumption. That is why the chosen ones do not plead with the heavens, they declare. They speak to themselves as if the promise were already fulfilled. They do not say, one day I will have. They say, it is mine now. They do not say, perhaps I am worthy. They say, I am worthy already. And the world, being but a reflection, has no choice but to echo back their declarations. Consider the power of inner speech in daily life. You may see two people with similar talents, similar circumstances, yet their outcomes are worlds apart. Why? Because one has rehearsed defeat and the other has rehearsed victory. One has said within, I cannot escape this cycle. while the other has whispered, "I am breaking through, my life is expanding, I am destined for more." And though both live under the same sun, their worlds diverge because their inner conversations are worlds apart. The wealth flows to the one who has spoken it within, for the conversation creates the channel. This is why no external circumstance can stop you once your inner talk has changed. Even if the world denies you, if your inner words are "I am chosen," doors will open in defiance of circumstance. Even if accounts run empty, if your inner words are "I am wealthy," provision must appear. The outer world cannot resist the authority of the inner voice. Guard then your nightly conversation. For when you fall asleep, the words you carry into slumber sink deep into the fertile ground of subconscious, and from there they blossom into tomorrow's experience. If you fall asleep rehearsing lack, lack multiplies. If you fall asleep rehearsing abundance, abundance flows. The pillow is your altar, and the inner words spoken there are the most sacred offerings. Speak richly before you sleep. Declare that you are chosen. Affirm that the $999 million shift is not coming, but has already come. See yourself receiving, spending, blessing others, living abundantly, and let those conversations carry you into dreams. Soon you will awaken to a world reshaped by those inner whispers. Do not underestimate the subtle power of self-talk. One negative phrase repeated inwardly can block 1,000 doors. One faithful affirmation repeated with persistence can open 10,000. This is why the chosen discipline their tongue within. They do not let fear narrate their story. They do not let doubt write their script. They may feel fear, but they do not let it speak unchallenged. Instead, they drown it with the voice of faith. They affirm their wealth until it is louder than lack. They declare their abundance until it overshadows doubt. They persist in the inner talk of victory until the outer world is forced to concede. The inheritance of your life is already yours, but your inner conversation is the key that unlocks it. Speak as though it is finished, and it will finish. Speak as though you already have it, and you will. Speak as though the shift is now, and you will walk in it. For the law is eternal, as within, so without, as spoken inwardly, so inherited outwardly. The $999 million shift is not magic, it is law, and the law is activated by the words you continually rehearse. Choose them wisely, for they are not just words, they are your destiny. So I say to you, begin even now. Speak to yourself with authority. Whisper wealth into your own ears. Tell yourself, "I am chosen, I am wealthy. The universe has released my inheritance. The $999 million is already mine." Say it until it feels natural, until it feels undeniable, until your world must echo it back in undeniable ways. Do not wait for the evidence. Create it with your conversation. For the chosen know the secret. The outer inheritance is nothing more than the echo of the inner voice. And when your inner voice speaks as the wealthy one, as the chosen one, as the abundant one, then wealth, choice, and abundance must fill your world. Creation is finished. You are only awakening to it. The greatest revelation you can ever embrace is this: nothing is being created, nothing is being manufactured, nothing is being built in some distant future. Creation is finished. Everything you desire, every dollar of the $999 million shift, every opportunity, every connection, every open door already exists in the invisible realm, awaiting your recognition. Life is not a process of making things happen. It is the unveiling of what has already been written. Imagine a library so vast that it contains every possible story, every possible chapter, every possible ending. You do not create the story by opening the book. You simply awaken to the chapter you choose. So it is with your life. The story of you as wealthy, chosen, abundant, and overflowing has already been written. The moment you assume it within, you are not making it real. You are simply stepping into the page that has been waiting for you all along. This truth dissolves the struggle, for struggle comes from thinking you must force life to happen. You believe you must labor, strive, and fight to create what you want, but creation is not your job. Your role is awakening. You are the dreamer shifting from one dream to another, the reader selecting which story to enter. The wealth exists, the shift is finished, the $999 million is not being manufactured by chance events. It is already held in the vault of the unseen, and your consciousness is the key that unlocks it. When you finally align your inner world with the reality you desire, you simply awaken to what has always been yours, and this awakening often feels miraculous because the world around you rearranges itself, yet the miracle is nothing more than your awareness shifting from one chapter to another. Think of how dreams work. When you are asleep, entire worlds unfold, cities rise, people speak, events happen, all complete and alive, yet they exist only in the dimension of the dream. When you awaken, the dream dissolves, not because it was never real, but because you shifted awareness. Life works the same way. There are infinite realities existing simultaneously. Poverty exists, wealth exists, struggle exists, overflow exists, the $999 million shift exists. The question is not whether they exist, but which one you awaken to. And your awakening is determined by your assumption, your imagination, your faith. If you persist in imagining wealth, you eventually awaken to that version of your life. If you persist in rehearsing lack, you awaken to that version instead. But make no mistake, both already exist. You are not making them real, you are simply moving your awareness. This truth is liberating, for it means nothing is missing. You are not waiting for your inheritance, it is already complete. You are not waiting for the doors. They are already open. You are not waiting for wealth. It is already finished. What you call waiting is nothing more than aligning. The delay is not because the promise has not been created, but because you have not yet assumed it as real. The moment you do, the awakening begins, and everything in your outer world shifts to match. This is why some rise to wealth while others remain in struggle. It is not because the universe favors one over another, but because one awakened to wealth while the other remained asleep in lack. To awaken to your inheritance, you must live from the end. You must accept within that it is already done. Do not think of wealth as coming. Think from wealth as present. Do not imagine yourself reaching for $999 million. Imagine yourself already living as one who possesses it. Feel the certainty of it, walk in the confidence of it, and carry yourself as if the shift has already been released. When you do this, you are tuning to the finished creation. You are stepping into the chapter of abundance that was written with your name before time began. And soon what you hold within will spill outward as undeniable evidence. This is why longing is not enough. To long for something is to admit it is absent. To believe it is coming is to admit it is not yet here. But to assume it is already done is to awaken. The chosen do not hope. They embody, they do not say one day, they say now. And the world obeys their assumption, not because they forced it, but because creation was already finished. Hope delays, but assumption reveals. This is the true secret. Your wealth is already here, your abundance already finished, your $999 million shift already sealed. You are not creating, you are remembering. Think of a radio. Countless stations are broadcasting at once, yet you hear only the one you tune into. Did you create the music by turning the dial? No. You simply tuned into what was already playing. So it is with creation. The wealth station is already broadcasting. The abundance channel is already playing. The inheritance is already transmitting. Your imagination is the dial. The moment you turn it toward wealth, you hear its song. The moment you persist in that frequency, your whole life begins to dance to its rhythm. And to those outside, it looks like miracles, like sudden blessings, like divine favor. But you will know it was always finished, always waiting, always present. This truth requires discipline, for the senses will try to trick you. They will say, look, the money is not here. Look, the evidence is missing. Look, nothing has changed. But the senses only show the chapter you are currently awake in. They cannot show the fullness of creation. If you believe them, you remain trapped in the old story. But if you dare to persist in assumption, if you dare to walk in the unseen as though it were seen, the old chapter dissolves and the new one emerges. You must remind yourself daily, creation is finished. I am not waiting for wealth. It is waiting for me. I am not chasing abundance. I am awakening to it. The $999 million shift is not being written. It is already written, and I am stepping into the page. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is not thanking for what might come, but rejoicing in what already exists. When you give thanks for wealth as though it were already yours, you align with the finished creation of wealth. When you thank for abundance before it appears, you awaken to the chapter where abundance is natural. Gratitude shifts your awareness faster than pleading ever could, because gratitude assumes it is already done. Pleading says, I lack, gratitude says, it is mine, and the universe echoes whichever you persist in, so let your daily posture be one of assumption and gratitude. Assume wealth as finished, speak as if it is done, thank as if it is already given, walk as though you are already chosen, and soon the outer world will confirm the inner truth, not because it was created at that moment, but because you finally awakened to the reality that was waiting all along. The $999 million shift is not being manufactured. It is being revealed. It was always yours, but now your eyes are opening to see it. Therefore, release the struggle. Stop asking when and start declaring now. Stop questioning how and start affirming it is finished. Stop begging for proof and start assuming the promise, for the universe is not building your inheritance. It already built it. The table is set, the feast is prepared, the portion is waiting. All that is required is that you sit down and eat, that you awaken to the truth that creation is finished and your wealth is part of that eternal completion. Walk as one who knows, and soon your knowing will manifest as undeniable evidence. The $999 million shift is not coming. It is here, and you are the one chosen to awaken to it. Faith is possession. Faith is not hoping, nor is it mere belief in something far away. Faith is possession now. Faith is the invisible hand that grasps what your senses cannot yet see and holds it as though it were already in your palm. Faith is not waiting for proof, it is proof in itself. It is not looking toward a promise. It is living from the promise as already fulfilled. This is the mystery the world misunderstands. They think faith means to pray and hope, to wish and wait, to look at the heavens and plead. But true faith does not plead, it claims. True faith does not postpone, it possesses. Faith is living in the reality of the $999 million shift now, not tomorrow, not one day, but in this very moment. If you dare to hold it within as though it were already yours, if you dare to speak, think, and feel as though the wealth has been released, then you have already taken possession. And once you have possessed it inwardly, the outer world must bend, rearrange, and conspire to deliver the evidence. Faith is the currency of the unseen, and when you spend it lavishly, the visible cannot withhold itself. Consider this: when a wealthy person places their hand on a vault, they do not doubt whether treasure is within. They know it is theirs even before opening it. So it is with faith. You touch the vault of the invisible with certainty, with assurance, with confidence, and you walk away as if already enriched. You may not yet see the bills in your account, but you carry the wealth in your posture, in your voice, in your expectation. That is faith, walking in possession before manifestation, and herein lies the secret. Possession within always precedes possession without. No one receives outwardly what they have not already claimed inwardly. The world is full of those who long for wealth but never hold it, not because they are denied, but because they never possessed it in faith. They remain beggars when the universe only honors heirs. An heir does not beg, he assumes ownership. An heir does not plead, she walks in assurance. An heir does not ask, will it come, but declares, it is mine already. That is the essence of faith. It is possession. The $999 million shift is not promised to the hesitant or the doubtful. It is revealed to the faithful. And faithful does not mean perfect. It means persistent. It means that no matter what the senses scream, you return to the inner knowing, it is mine. It means when accounts look empty, you say, I am wealthy. When opportunities seem absent, you declare, doors are opening. When nothing appears to change, you affirm, the shift has already happened. Faith is possession, and possession is a choice you make inwardly, again and again, until the outer reality has no choice but to agree. Think of a seed planted in soil. Do you dig it up each day to check if it is growing? No. You possess the harvest by faith the moment you plant it. You water it, you nourish it, you act as though the fruit is inevitable. That confidence is possession, and because you have already possessed it, you live in peace until the fruit shows itself. Faith works the same way. Once you plant the seed of wealth in imagination, once you assume the state of being chosen, once you dare to declare the $999 million is already yours, You do not go back to begging or doubting. You possess it inwardly and wait in peace, knowing that the visible will soon catch up with the invisible. Faith is the assurance that the harvest is guaranteed, even before the first sprout emerges. This is why the chosen walk differently. Their steps are heavy with certainty. Their voices drip with authority. Their faces shine with quiet confidence. They do not need to prove, nor do they need to convince, because they already possess. And possession cannot be faked. You can sense it when someone owns something within. They carry themselves as if no one can take it away. That is the essence of faith. When you carry the $999 million inwardly as already yours, the world must bend to that possession. It may look at you in confusion, it may question, it may laugh, but soon it must bow, for reality cannot resist faith. Faith is not wishful thinking, it is law. What you possess inwardly by faith must eventually appear outwardly by fact. You may wonder, but what if I feel doubt? Does that mean I have no faith? No, faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the persistence of possession in spite of it. Doubts will come, fears will whisper, appearances will challenge you. But if you continue to hold possession within, refusing to surrender the wealth in your imagination, you will prevail. Faith is not fragile, it is fierce. It is the inner grip that does not let go, no matter what storm rages outside. It is the unshakable conviction that what is mine, and no power can deny it. And because the universe is law, your persistence in possession guarantees the inheritance. Remember this: to believe is to receive. Not tomorrow, not one day, but the instant you believe, you receive inwardly, and once received inwardly, the outer world begins its process of reflection. Some reflections appear instantly, others unfold over time, but all are inevitable. The only thing that delays is your wavering. Each time you let go of possession inwardly, you reset the process, but the moment you hold it consistently, persistently, faithfully, the world must deliver. So take hold of your wealth within and refuse to release it. See yourself already living in abundance. Hear yourself speaking as one who possesses. Feel yourself carrying the shift, that inner possession is the only work required. The rest is the automatic outflow of law. The $999 million shift belongs to you now, not later. You do not wait for faith to bring it. You use faith to possess it now. Declare daily, it is mine, I have it, I live in it, I walk in it. Let those words saturate your imagination until they feel natural, until they feel obvious, until they feel undeniable. For when they become natural within, they must become natural without. Faith does not ask permission from the senses. It commands the senses to obey. Faith does not inquire of circumstances. It dictates circumstances. Faith does not wait for evidence. It creates evidence by holding possession. So walk now as one who possesses. Dress in the dignity of abundance. Speak with the confidence of wealth. Carry yourself as heir, not beggar, as possessor, not seeker, for you are chosen, and the universe has already released the shift. The $999 million is not a distant dream, it is your present possession. Faith makes it so, and as you persist in this possession, the outer world will unfold in perfect alignment, delivering to you every sign, every door, every opportunity, every dollar that confirms what you already knew within. Faith is possession, and possession is now.